Good evening, everyone. To start with, I would request Dr. Shalini Yadav, Event Coordinator and Public Relation Officer of iSPELL India, to introduce and welcome the invitees and the founder and General Secretary, Professor G.A. Ghanshyam, sir. Please, ma'am.
At this onset today, first of all, I wish you all a very happy Independence Day. I heartily greet a very blessed and lyrical evening to all esteemed poets, dignified literarians, learned academicians, and energetic researchers with generous interest in language and literature, and to the whole iSPELL family. Honestly, I feel highly privileged to welcome our all well-regarded poets on the auspicious eve for celebration of independence today. Pankhori Sinha ma'am, Anita Gallow ma'am, Sai Prakash sir, Nasreen Hamza Ali ma'am, Dr. Satish sir, Prasanna Kumar sir, Mishna Chanu ma'am, Dr. Firoz Khan sir, Dr. Molly Joseph ma'am, Dr. Janata Ramanathan ma'am, Divya Onkari ma'am, Upma Parekh ma'am, and Bachiwal Srinivas sir at the platform of iSPELL India today. Now, I would like to hand over the stage to Ghanshyam sir to tell a little bit about iSPELL to proceed further. Over to you, sir.
Good evening and thanks, Dr. Shalini. Am I supposed to say that? Because being the master of the ceremony, I think it was your duty. But anyway, as you have given the duty to me, let me proceed further. Welcome to one and all those who are on this platform of Indian Society for the Promotion of English Language and Literature, which is popularly known by the acronym iSPELL. And in iSPELL, each and every individual has the freedom to spell, and that's why we say iSPELL. When all the they come together, it becomes we. So today we are we. And in English, there is a proverb which goes like this: cooperation is spelled by two letters, W and E. So it combines together to form we. So we all are Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav. Indeed, it was a great pleasure to make you aware of the fact that iSPELL started on 5th of September 2020 during the lockdown, when the entire world was looking down and it was fully gloomy and coronavirus was on the top. Then some of the people, light-minded people, they joined together and they thought of bringing the fraternity together to have a kind of a society which can promote both language and literature. So on the day of Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, we inaugurated event of iSPELL, which we popularly call as Sunday Sahityak Satsang. Because satsang is a kind of a program wherein we all get benefited out of it. And today we have 11 poets, those who will be not only making us to enjoy the rhythmic essence of the verse and the poem, but at the same time, they'll be making the heart and the mind happy. At the end of the day, when the mind and heart both are music, this kind of a poem is going to give a solace to the heart and a fruitful kind of joy to the mind. And that's why iSPELL has been organizing all these programs throughout the Sundays without having a single break. Even during the second wave of Corona, we haven't stopped our journey of organizing Sunday Sahityak Satsang. And that's why today we have reached the 101 Sunday Sahityak Satsang of iSPELL. And this credit goes to all those people, those who have been there on the platform of iSPELL, being the speaker, being the conductor of the workshop, being the chairperson, being the master of ceremonies, being the group of people, those who have been there as the panel discussion. So all these people, they have made it possible for all of us. And that's why iSPELL always believes in facilitate to elevate. We facilitate people to elevate themselves. Until and unless we elevate ourselves, we cannot elevate the future generation or the students whom we teach. So with this particular motto of facilitate to elevate, we gather people, we give them the platform, we ask them to perform on the platform of iSPELL so that we all can elevate ourselves to make this country one of the finest and one of the greatest country in the world. With these words, I stop here and hand over the stage to Dr. Shalini Yadav. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, sir, for telling something about iSPELL to the guest poets. Sir is going to chair the session. Welcome, sir. When, as already sir has talked about that when Corona and this cataclysmic force named COVID-19 was overpowering the situation everywhere in the world. So being a martinet and visionary, he dreamed and he planned and executed without exhausting or taking a halt in between, connecting all the like-minded people here at the platform of iSPELL. And there the society was formed, Indian Society for the English Language and Literature. iSPELL, standing tall and strong for the literary world to acknowledge its worth, keeping an all-encompassing approach and vision at core, works to assist all and one literary fraternity, focusing more on the hidden talent to bring forth and for the showcase of their caliber, providing them a platform, reaching the unreached, listening to the unexpressed, and uplifting the less elevated people have been the motto of the society from past 2 years, as sir has already talked about. So thus this month, as an event coordinator and as a proud iSPELLian and moderator of this program, I have endeavored to bring some worthy creative souls on the board in this month of August, bringing August events to exhibit their special flair in the arena of creative poetries and fiction and non-fiction via penning down their own feelings and experiences. Hence, it's a rainy season today. Today also it is raining outside in Jaipur with the atmosphere is full of glory and the natural greenery is everywhere. So the passion to write and share with patriotic intensity in the month of freedom, when we had got the freedom, we have all gathered here to celebrate together the freedom of our country. Therefore, the first, without much delay, I would like to relish the lyrical doses of motivation in favor of nationalism as a devoted civilian residing in all us witches. Therefore, I take the honor of introducing our first esteemed poet, Pankuri Sinha ma'am. Before that, I again welcome all the guest poets or chairperson of the day and all the forum coordinators, members of iSPELL, and all other academicians and literature lovers, whoever are connected with us today. So I take this pleasure to invite Pankuri Sinha ma'am and introduce her. Pankuri Sinha ma'am is a bilingual poet, story writer, and translator from India. 2 poetry collections of ma'am have been published in English, 2 story collections published in Hindi, 6 poetry collections published in Hindi, and many more are lined up. Wow. Her works have been published in many journals, anthologies, home and abroad. She has won many prestigious national and international awards like the Girija Kumar Mathur Award, Chitra Kumar Shailesh Mithiyani Award, Simapuri Times Rajiv Gandhi Excellence Award, first prize for poetry by Rajasthan Patrika, awards in Chekhov Festival in Yalta, and in Premio Besio Poetry Competition in Italy, Sahitya Award in Bangladesh, and Premio Galatio in Italy for poetry in mother tongue. Her works have been translated in more than 27 languages. She has been studied in Delhi University, Symbiosis Pune, and the University of Calgary, Canada. She has worked in various positions as a journalist, lecturer, and a content editor. She has done writing residency in Hungary and Bulgaria, and attended the Trana's Literature Festival in Sweden. Such a talented diva and inspirational poetic soul is here with us today. Madam had been Bulgaria and Hungary recently and came, I think, last month only. I welcome you, ma'am, to read your poems. Over to you, ma'am. Please.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Shalini, for that generous introduction. And thank you, iSPELL. I am very honored and delighted. Can you hear me? Is it louder? Shalini, it will be helpful if you can tell me if you can hear me okay, or should I speak louder?
Yeah, ma'am, a little bit louder, please be.
Great. So I was just saying that I'm very honored and delighted to be here, and happy Independence Day to all my friends, my seniors, my fellow poets. And my question to you further, Shalini, is that as you said in my very generous introduction, I'm a bilingual poet. So should I read in Hindi or in English? What do you prefer? Choose. It's your call, Shalini. You have to choose the language. Should I read?
Okay, ma'am. I would like to have in both languages. Read one in Hindi, one in English.
Okay, wonderful. I'll start with Hindi. Okay. Card Rakhne Ma'am. This is a poem that talks about an Independence Day after Corona. Card Rakhne Ma'am. कोई बर्थडे पार्टी हो तो बुलाना, कहा उसने बिना हुए नाराज कि नहीं खरीदा था मैंने उससे कोई भी सामान और खींच ली थी तस्वीरें। कितनी सहजता से कहा था उसने और उसी सहजता से आगे बढ़ गए थे मेरे हाथ। ठिठक कर हवा में रुके थे पल भर, क्या आएगा भी, जाने कब आएगा ऐसा कोई मौका। वह उदास था कितने कम लोग थे, 9 के बराबर राहत। मैं उदास थी कितना दूर था वो बारी सजाने का कोई भी मौका। छिटका हाथ मैंने आगे बढ़ाया और किसी बर्छी की चुभन सा याद आया। और भी एहतियात से धोना होगा हाथ, कार्ड रखना होगा अलग। यह कोरोना की दूसरी लहर के बाद की दिल्ली थी, अब भी मृत्यु के गंध से रंगाती। अभी अभी खून से नहाया था शहर, अभी भी हवा में धुएं की स्मृति थी। जबकि लगता था साफ हो गई है, चिड़ियों की आवाज में गूंजती, पत्तों में हिलती। कौन यकीन करेगा कि अभी अभी जहरीली हुई थी। इक्के दुक्के जमघट को छोड़कर सब ठीक दिख रहा था। झंडे सरेआम सरेशाम बिक रहे थे। मुमकिन है उदास दिखते झंडे बेचने वालों के घर हाथ से। मुमकिन है उदास दिखते झंडे बेचने वालों के घर हाथ से हुए। राह चलते हुओं के घर भी, पर यही शाम थी हादसों को रोकने की। यही शाम थी हादसों को भी रोकने की। जश्न आजादी का यही मकसद, यही आगाज था। हर किसी के लब पर होनी थी आवाज की आजादी। And now I read my second poem in English. Thank you, very kind. It's called Sorry, I'm yet to get the Zoom on my laptop, so I'm still doing it from a mobile. It's a poem called Happy Independence Day. On the sleek, smooth, almost glistening, glittering streets of the national capital, exactly where the polished road takes a sharp left turn. On the auspicious occasion of the Republic Day, you can easily see not one, not two, but a whole bunch of street kids selling the national flag. The national flag of various shapes, sizes, and materials. Flag stickers to be stuck and dangling flags to be hung. Flag imagery fills the sky with flag-colored balloons soaring higher than the dreams of the hands holding them with ever yet. blue circle of the Ashok Chakra in between begins to resemble the roundness of the screaming, screeching, burping, belching wheels of vehicles tirelessly running in endless race. The blue could freeze you. The blue could freeze you if you dared to look deep in its eyes and the eyes of those clamoring to buy it. Wait a minute, they shouldn't be selling flags at all like this from dawn to dusk at all. They shouldn't be selling anything for that matter, and neither should that man who usually sells pens and fans and car fresheners, always saying he hasn't had a decent week in days. Or that woman taking a break from farm work to guard the streets. The flag should provide something better for them, better us. And the kids should definitely be in school, debating over how meaningful has been the celebration of the Republic Day. And why are they not? And who are we waiting for while we look for those answers? While we look for those answers. Happy Independence Day. Was my audio okay, clear? And I have again one more question. Where is this being live streamed so that I can also share it?
Yeah, a little bit it was cutting, ma'am, in between.
Sorry?
Little bit, the voice was going in between. Otherwise, the poem was excellent.
But where is this being live streamed, Shalini? If I can also share, on what page? This is live, right?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. It is live on YouTube, not on Facebook.
Okay, so what is the channel?
YouTube channel iSPELL India. I have shared, I think, the link with you.
Great. I will do. All right. Thank you so much, and looking forward to it.
Thank you, ma'am. This was beautiful rendition of all the poems, Hindi and English both.
Thank you. Thanks.
Now, I would like to invite and introduce our next guest poet, my friend and younger sister, Anita Gallow. Anita is working as Assistant Professor of English and Communication Skills at Lachu Memorial College of Science and Technology, Jodhpur, Rajasthan. She is MA in English Literature, MPhil in ELT. Many of her research papers and poems are published in journals and books. She is a very passionate teacher and avid reader too. She has a keen interest in writing poetry. She is connected with many poetry societies and keep reading her wonderful poems everywhere. And we had shared some platforms earlier also together. Please recite your poems. Over to you, Anita. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for the introduction. First of all, I want to congratulate all my fellow poets present over here on this esteemed platform for celebrating the centenary celebration of E-Sunday Sahitya Satsang as well as Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav. So this is a very proud moment for us because this is the 75th Independence Day of India, and freedom is a priceless gem. So try to preserve it, because ask its significance to those real life heroes who sacrifices their lives just to see India free, just to breathe in the proud wind of freedom. They fought for day and night. And for me, आजादी सिर्फ एक सोच नहीं है, यह मात्र एक विचार नहीं है, और ना ही आजादी एकजुट होकर बोली जाने वाली आवाज मात्र ही है। मेरे विचारों में आजादी सही मायने में हमारे सच हुए ख्वाब हैं, कुर्बानियों की दास्तां है, हमारे कर्तव्यों की याद है। आजादी जीने और सभी को जीने देने वाले हमारे भारतीय संस्कार हैं। आजादी हमारे पंख हैं जो हमारी उड़ान को परवाज देते हैं। अपने सपनों को एक सही और लगातार बढ़ते रहने की प्रेरणा देते हैं. So with all these thoughts, I'm presenting my poem. The title of my poem, Fearless Freedom. Freedom belongs to strength. Feeble stands nowhere. Patriotic zeal, undaunted courage, that wrapped in a tricolor flag, although very rare. When every corner of nation ornamented with bravery, sweet songs of patriotism tears thy soul apart. Behold the power, behold the pride that bleeds the veins, awakens the dead in the graveyards, and with the rays of glory fills thy heart. When humanity withered, hate prevails, truth withered, drum beats of duty declare the war of wisdom. That very moment, unlock the shackles of slavery, feel the whispering wind of fearless freedom. Religions are for worship humanity. Religions are for worship humanity, perpetual peace, matchless liberty, magnanimously witnessing the growth, prosperity, and evolution of the country. War creates toil and trouble. War creates toil and trouble. Still fighting, devastating, destruction that never ends. If such a victory in wars be bargaining, momentary, fleeting, fading, just like an empty bubble, love for the nation is an undefined definition. Keep the fighting spirit alive, vivacious, dynamic, defeat denied. Soldiers are martyrs. Bow, respect, and salute. Honor their deeds. Speak of the sacrifices. Forget not their dedication. Adore the flag fluttered in the breeze cool. Sing the glory of tricolors, orange, white, and green. Tune with its incredible history. Tune with its incredible history. Harmonize all the culture. Equality and brotherhood must reign and rule. Equality and brotherhood must reign and rule. Thank you all. Jai Hind.
Thanks a lot, Anita. This was wonderful poem about nationalism and about how we can, you can say, keep our head held high, and how we need to go ahead towards betterment of the country. Now, I would like to invite, are you going to recite another poem?
Yep, sure, ma'am. May I?
Yeah, if you have any.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. So my another poem title is Paint Your Patriotism. Paint Your Patriotism. Today is the day to celebrate. This is the day to dedicate. The bird of peace has unfurled its wings, proudly flitting, sacrifices sings. It's a happy day to illuminate, like a firelight to torch our fate. Welcome the glory, spread the story. It's a phenomenal day to fascinate. This is the moment. This is the moment most awaited. Be the warrior, celebrate the victory. As in the battlefield, haters got defeated. To keep the nation's pride as our crown, they stood strong, suffered a lot. In praise of the true heroes, the world go down. For keeping its foundation deep down high, they lifted the pillars of courage to the sky. Paint your patriotism with 3 vibrant colors. Let the spirituality and strength be classy like saffron, while letting the white dance with peace and truth crayons. Find the canvas of prosperity blushing in the green. Let the nation be one, just as a family. Let the nation be one, just as a family. Love, care, and affection may never be unseen, may never be unseen. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Very good. This is really very good. Now I would like to invite our next guest poet, Sai Prakash sir. Let me introduce sir at first. Sai Prakash Mukula sir is an advocate by profession and a poet with passion. He has nearly 3,000 poems to his credit, winning many applauds, including Gujarat Sahitya Academy Award also. And he has received many certificates, and he keeps on receiving certificates on everyday basis. His poems are translated into 30 national and international languages. His poems have been featured in more than 15 international anthologies. So here we have with us Sai sir to read his poems. Over to you, sir, please.
Thank you, Shalini. Thank you very much. Let me first congratulate all the participants for the oncoming Independence Day celebrations, that is Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav. Though I am running a bit fever on my body, and I have been not on very many live shows, Prasanna will understand this. But as this is a very unique invitation that I have accepted, and I have 2 poems to read today. The first one, as I come from south part of India, it is very rare that a martyr or a freedom fighter from Northeast is known here. So the first title of my poem is Kanakalata Barwa. She is a freedom fighter from the earlier home state, that is now Assam now. Now I proceed to read on my first poem. Am I audible, Shalini?
Yes, sir. Yes, of course.
Yeah,
very much.
Yeah. Kanakalata Barwa. How many odes shall I write in your praise? Even 1,001 will not suffice. Hailing from a royal lineage, you fought the British elite. No one ever witnessed such a courage. Wearing khadi at 17 years of age, you led a procession with all your might. I will read again. How many odes shall I write in your praise? Even 1,001 will not suffice. Hailing from a royal lineage, you fought the British elite. No one ever witnessed such a courage. Wearing khadi at 17 years of age, you led the procession with all your might. Holding the tricolor high and tight, they witnessed a fearless lioness in your stride. Holding the tricolor high and tight, they witnessed a fearless lioness in your stride. Your roar for freedom, reverberating the police lines. Your roar for freedom, reverberating the police lines. Their fingers shivering on the triggers ready to fire. Their fingers shivering on the triggers ready to fire. Upon all warnings, you never stopped a while. Upon all warnings, you never stopped a while, singing the songs of valor to your followers' delight. Singing the songs of valor to your followers' delight. A few more steps, you would have reached the pedestal. A few more steps, you would have reached the pedestal where you wished to hoist our national pride. There came a ruthless ardor, followed by gunfire. There came a ruthless ardor, followed by gunfire. A dove fell from its peaceful stride. A dove fell from its peaceful stride, still keeping the tricolor firm. Your shout for freedom reaching the blood and bold skies. A doe fell from its peaceful stride, still keeping the tricolor firm, your shouts for freedom reaching the blood and bold skies. What else can we offer you? What else can we offer for your never dying spirits? What else can we offer for your never dying spirits? A stiff salute and countless tears. A stiff salute and countless tears. The tricolor you carried is breathing freedom of fresh air. The tricolor you carried is breathing freedom of fresh air. Thank you. This is my first poem. So, shall I proceed to the second one?
Yes, sir, of
Nalini?
course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
This is the title of the poem is Freedom at Midnight. Freedom at midnight. Let the feeling of freedom dawn on each citizen. Let the feeling of freedom dawn on each citizen. Let there be light thrown on the pathos of predecessors suffered. Let there be light thrown on the pathos our predecessors suffered, confined to dungeons, way far from their loved ones. Solitary confinement in jails, termed as hell cells. Solitary confinement in jails, termed as hell cells. Let the youngsters listen to gallows. Let the youngsters listen to gallows, their acts of bravery, kissing the noose. Let the youngsters listen to the gallows, their acts of bravery, kissing the noose. Martyr's body is dangling for more than the stipulated time. Martyr's body is dangling from more than the stipulated time. The echoes of their last exhales, vibrating the four walls. The echoes of their last exhales, vibrating the four walls, demanding freedom for their fellow brethren. The echoes of their last exhales, vibrating the four walls, demanding freedom for their fellow brethren. Those freehand drawings on the cell walls, with a stolen charcoal, depicting the days of freedom, the ghastly colonial tortures, well chronicled through folklore. Those broken teeth depict split lips, spitting blood. Those broken teeth, split lips, spitting blood. Fractured bones, punctured lungs. Still rising the words and deeds of dissent. O citizen, celebrating the 75th Independence Day. O citizen, celebrating the 75th Independence Day, hoisting the national flag with pride. Remember too the unmatched sacrifices. Each of the martyrs had to make during their lifetime. Raise your clenched fist, a tear or two. To commemorate their selfless duty towards our mother nation. Add your voice to the crores of people. Who chant our national anthem. Salute to the national flag, which flies high with self-esteem. The breeze generated by the departed souls, watching us from above, caressing our wet cheeks. The breeze generated by the departed souls, watching us from the above, caressing our wet cheeks. On their martyrdom, we breathe our freedom. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, sir. I would like to say that कि शहीदों की शहादत को शत-शत नमन और सर की जो कविताएं हैं वो एक तरीके तरीके से श्रद्धांजलि है उन सभी शहीदों को, और इससे बेहतर श्रद्धांजलि जो है कवि लोग नहीं दे सकते हैं. However, he has tried to say and depict the whole thing, and that was marvelous, wonderful. Now I would like to invite our next guest poet, Nasreen Hamza Ali ma'am. Let me introduce ma'am first. Poetess Nasreen Hamza Ali was born on June 5 in Indian state of Telangana. That's where she grew up. She is currently living with her family in Karnataka. She has a master's degree in Urdu. A teacher by profession, she loves to read and write poetry. She's an active member of various poetry forums. Her poems have been regularly published in international.
Aruna,
She has
ये काफी हो गई.
Yes, sir. She has pardon. She has also published a book Ek Lamha. Ma'am writes in Urdu also. Philosophy, religion, and love are the main elements of her poetry. At present, she has included political, socio-economic, and cultural issues of India also in her poems. This is quite contemporary and trendy thing to include. She has dedicated her writings to the development of world literature. In addition to writing poetry, ma'am enjoys sports a lot. So I would like to welcome Nasreen ma'am here to recite her poems. Over to you, ma'am.
Hello, everyone. Myself,
Yeah.
Nasreen Hamza Ali. Firstly, happy Independence Day to everyone. I have prepared one poem on the occasion of Independence Day. Thank you, Shalini. वतन तुझसे ही रोशन है मेरा आंचल. वतन तुझसे ही रोशन है मेरा आंचल. वतन तुझसे ही है मेरा सुकून सैकल. वतन तुझसे जो भी मिला बहुत कुछ है. वतन तुझसे जो भी मिला वो है अफजल. तेरा ही हो जुनून, तेरा ही हो जुनून, हो तेरी ही चाहत. दिलों में जोत जलती इश्क की मशल. तूने ही तो दिए चट्टानों सी ये हिम्मत. तूने ही तो दिए चट्टानों सी ये हिम्मत. वतन है मेरा तू, वतन है मेरा तू. तू ही मेरा अजमल. तेरी खातिर ना लूं मैं और दुनिया. तेरी खातिर ना लूं मैं और दुनिया. नहीं तेरा कोई है, नहीं तेरा कोई है नेमुल बदल. वतन तुझसे ही रोशन है मेरा आंचल. वतन तुझसे ही है मेरा सुकून सैकल.
Thank you, Nasreen ma'am. It was wonderful and so musical, lyrical, rhythmical, and I'm really happy to hear after a long time. And I wanted to know one thing, though it is between the session, आपकी अम्मा कैसी हैं अभी?
हाँ अच्छी है अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह आज डिस्चार्ज हो गए शालिनी
Okay,
हॉस्पिटल
चलिए
से discharge।
है देखभाल कीजिए उनकी. Now, next I would like to invite Dr. Satish Sri Srivastava sir, and would like to introduce sir at first. Dr. Satish Srivastava sir is a retired manager admin from a pharmaceutical company, and he revived his passion of writing poetry after retirement after a long gap of 35 years. That's really wonderful, sir. Me and Anita, we always talk about that. People keep on pulling our legs all the time that why do you write poetry? Why don't you focus on home and profession and all that? So after 35 years, you have revived the passion again. And we always discuss that we'll be assertive and will not leave our this passion of writing and reciting poetry. So sir is a well-known poetic figure nationally and internationally, and has been published in many anthologies of national, international origin, as well as by many renowned communities. Many a creation of his own ink have been translated and published in Italian magazines. Dr. Satish Srivastava often prefers to write structural poetries. His poems are well appreciated by poets and readers of different poetry communities, and he has bagged more than 250 awards and certificates. And sir keeps on gaining certificates and awards on daily basis. I know that very well. Pen to Reader's Heart, an ebook, was published by Amazon, is one of the well accepted book of him by the readers. So I would like to welcome here Satish sir. He's a great poet. So let's listen to him today. Sir, over to you.
Thank you very much, Shalini. Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir, very much.
Okay. Good evening to all of you from Indian origins and from foreigners. It is morning for them. So we are celebrating over here Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav, right? So
Ji.
on the same title, I have created my poem. And the poem is, as you have already told, that I love to compose in an structural poetry. So I have composed this acrostic poetry. Shalini, I have already sent you this poetry copy to you. So now let me recite my poetry. Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav. Right? Amazing amendment has seen after 75 years of Indian freedom, Jaffers moved towards Jammu and Kashmir in favor to its citizens. And they felt fairy freedom from situations of extreme adverse, the curse of terrorism in real sense. Documented doctrine, albeit was in favor to Indian government, but atmosphere was never praiseworthy to pen. Inside situation seriously was something else, as some wolves in coats of sheep were ruling over the state. Kinda keeping kindness to Pakistani grace, creating cool atmosphere in their mind, having favor and praise. After taking the charge of country in 2014, Mr. Narendra Damodar Das Modi has taken his entry in the current Indian politics and done a lot of favor to nationalism besides helping poorly people, economic development, defense, and capturing corrupt capitalists. Monetary issues, uplifting country in sense of security through abolishment of Article 370 and improving status of Kashmir issue. Reported to be as his best decision that's changed completely the deteriorated situation and done a lot to local people status upgradation. In fact, the current scenario not only in Jammu and Kashmir has witnessed the encouraging progress, but all around the country. Terrorist activities are almost at the verge of dying. That's made valid reason to Pakistani crying at begging stage we bought that country. Majority of people in the country are enjoying, while opposition leaders are best of their efforts crying and cursing to our PM Mr. Modi. Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav, the great grand gracious celebration of Indian independence in memoirs of freedom fighters. Heartily gratitude, offering salute to all brave fighting soldiers who sacrificed their lives in the name of saving Mother India. On the record or off the record, many of them even unknown to us, while recalling here now their greatest endeavors of brave men such. The nation feels hilarious, profound, celebrating moment proudly upon that has come after so long, and we all are singing songs. Songs of patriotism, videos are playing, people following procession on cars and bikes with holding flags in their hands, following musical bands. Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav is our greatest celebration nations-wide, where all are participating wholehearted, forgetting caste and creed. Very profound, unprecedented historical function of the century to make awareness among our successors, the loveliest most feed. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Very good, sir. Thanks a lot for your such a good acoustic poem. Now, actually, Dr. Molly has some another event also to join. So, Prasanna, sir, can I invite ma'am first before you, if it
Yes,
is okay?
Go ahead, man. Go ahead, man.
Okay, sir. So, I would like to introduce Dr. Molly Joseph. And Dr. Molly Joseph has her doctorate in post-war American poetry. She was retired as a head Department of English, St. Xavier's College, Aluva, Kerala, and she also served as Professor Communicative English at FISA at Kerala. She is a bilingual writer, writes travelogues, poems, and short stories for children also, and has published 13 books of poems to her credit yet. I'm not just going to tell the names of all the books here, but I will just speak the names of few books which recently have been published in 2020 and 2021. Water Sings Over the Stone and Beyond Mist Mountains and Songs of Silence were published in 2022 and 2020 and 2021. And ma'am has written one novel, Hidumbi, which was translated from Malayalam, and Adventures of Billu, Dillu, and Trillu. This is one of the children's book which was published in 2020. She travels widely, attending national and international poetic fest, and has won several accolades and awards, which includes Wordsmith Awards 2018 and India Women Achievers Awards instituted by Asian Literary Society, New Delhi. Ma'am writes for international journals like Spillwords, Different Truths, and Literary Vibes, and contributes to reputed global anthologies like Musings during a time of pandemic and to many international online journals and magazines. Ma'am has been conferred with Poesis Award of Honor, and she has also been honored as Kala Pratibha by Chitrasala Film Society, Kerala. Ma'am's interests lie primarily in poetry, both Malayalam and English, that deals with the contemporary issues like nature and gender and exploitation, war, the pandemic times, need for more of space for women writing, travel literature, and children writing. Her book, Where Sakudus Sings and Mirth, won the Galaxy Academy Award for experimental verse for her native diction characterized as ribbon poetry with simple words, flow, and intention, coiling up to approximate contemporary reality. Her book, Water Sinks Over the Stones, has won the Best Poetry Book of the Year 2020 award from ALS New Delhi. In 2021, she won the Yan'an Gold Medal Outstanding Poet Award from Yan'an Writers Association, China. She received the Best English Poetry Book of the Year 2022 from Asian Literary Society, New Delhi. She believes in the power of the world. It seeds power to create a brave new world. We are so lucky to have you here with us, ma'am. I might have missed some of the parts here. So please read your poems for us and bless us with your poetries.
Thank you, Shalini. It was too generous and kind of you to be so elaborate. I thought it was a little bit long, and I wondered whether I deserve that kind of time in this elite group of very recognized poets. I find all the esteemed poets gathered here, their chosen list of poets. And it is with great admiration I listened to one function of iSPELL and admire the crew for conducting very riveting topics on which we can, new writers can learn and all that. All the best to iSPELL, and especially this evening, my greetings to you all, my dear poet pals. Yes. Happy Independence Day. Let me straight go into my poem. Mother India salutes Vande Mataram. Mother India, you the cradle of our being, our growth, your rich landscape molding our mindscapes of heterogeneity, your multi-hued cultures of the indigenous weaving out such a beautiful matrix. You, the one teeming democracy in the world. How love swells over watching the Indian in layering shades of different robes with languages and cultures, unique and rare. Mother India, you are a marvel in hugging each one close, upholding the humane in the human. Grateful we are, remembering many a great mind who suffered, sacrificed to win freedom, shaking off the imperialist yoke. Salutes to many a young Jawan who lays down his sacred life for us. Mother India, thy beauty abounds in green glory above the Himalayan mounds, close and spread, reaching the southern tip, the sweeps up to Vivekananda Rock. Mother India, your unique spiritual heritage, the world looks at as panacea for ailments of the present. Here you turn the focal center for the promise of future. For the youth of yours outnumber with potential so strong. Mother India, hold them close, casting your magnetizing touch. We, the Indians, dream and dream of that united glory that brings peace on earth. The world deeming you as the beacon to guide. Salutes Mother India. Vande Mataram. Yes, that is my first poem. But always I feel, whenever we are in that euphoria celebration, there should be one finger pointing at us, like we are looking with a kind of introspection. There is no time for mere complacency. We have miles to go. So here is my second poem on freedom. Because sometimes coming across certain grim realities, you feel as a bard, as a poet, you have to speak it out. So what is true freedom? Freedom. When will we rise up to that level of rethinking freedom? When we stop raking up the unsolvable mistakes of the past. When will we rise up to that level of rethinking, freedom? When we stop breaking up the unsolvable mistakes of the past? Time out for them. When will we stop scratching up old wounds to fester, licking them up again and again, maligning mindsets? The present matters. Its challenges matters. Its challenges possibilities. Let us foster a culture of forgiveness which has space for all. Let us grow into that freedom of essential human goodness, finding our true pleasure in others' pleasure, not in their displeasure. Into that level of freedom, oh, let my mother India, my country, rise up. Thank you, dears, for this nice session. And
Thanks
I
a lot,
really
ma'am.
enjoyed. I'll be
This was
sitting.
wonderful rendition by you.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you, dears. And I'll be listening to some more before I join the program. Thank
Yeah,
you for
sure,
being
sure.
here. Thank you.
Sure. Now I would like to invite Prasanna sir. Many times I asked Prasanna sir for a bio note, short bio note, but sir didn't give me, so I just don't have much to say. Sir बहुत ही humble है. Sir runs a poetic group named the Fertile Brains, and he keeps writing, reciting poems, and organizes many poetry events at frequent intervals, and generally on every Sunday or other days also sometimes. International and international both kind of, and he's a social servant and works with some NGOs also. So I would like to invite Prasanna Kumar sir here to read some of his poems.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for such a beautiful introduction. I think, yes.
No, sir, you didn't give me your bio note to read.
That's a lot. That's a lot. In fact, I would say I take this. I thank you all for giving me the opportunity to be here with stalwarts like you all, Shalini Yadav ma'am and Molly Joseph ma'am, Sai ma'am, and everyone, Janata ma'am, Vishnu and Astrin and everyone. घर घर तिरंगा हर घर तिरंगा तिरंगा के दृष्टिकोण से पढ़ने जा रहा हूँ. फ्रीडम. Fight for the rights to breathe the free air, right to voice, right to express, rights and rituals gained autonomous space, yet the fluttering of flag pining for the pace of peace. Yes, missing is the consensus. Bitterness between the hearts still prevails. Foreign supremacy, no doubt, made its way to the race of soil. Well, everywhere we hear the voice of conspicuous difference, high and low, rich and poor, dark and white. What do you possess? Who is there to question amassing? Well, I'm the ruler of abundance of fortune. What do you have except 2 square meals? I'm superior. Better think twice, coming near, achieved independence, the sovereignty of writing verses, freedom of all sorts, unity is diversity, that's what they say. Still a slave to the unruly mindsets, look at the fluttering of flag. Don't you see, it's expecting the harmony of minds, dreaming to soar in the world where the wind is free of dual mentalities. That's perspective through the flag. That's the end of my poem, ma'am.
Thanks a lot, Prasanna sir. This was wonderful. Do you have one more, or shall I go ahead with another?
I'll have a later one. I think
okay. Sure, continue.
I shine in the glory of the freedom. I walk in the streets, remembering icons of the nation. Fluttering flag recalls the bloody sacrifice of fighters of liberty. My country is proud of the patriots. I walk in the streets, remembering icons of the nation. Those were the times of ruthless despots. At my country never bowed, held head high with perseverance. With endurance, it fought For the air of autonomy, the breeze touched the soil of soldiers and kissed the breath of independence. Selfless was the battle, tears and bloodshed went on to become wasted waters. I walked in the streets remembering the icons of the nation. When I touched the walls of the past, the penitentiary bulwarks reflects marks the history of struggles. The bullet holes, the bomb memorials, the mass graves, and martyrs' tombstones. I walk with freedom, bearing in mind how great is our nation for having the children who stood still with their hand in hand during the times of dark situation. That's the end of my poem, I Shine. Thank you for the opportunity, ma'am.
Thanks a lot, Prasanna. So your poem reminded me the poem of Rabindranath Tagore, which is the where the mind is without fear, where the head is held high, and where the knowledge is free. Thanks a lot. Now I would like to invite our next guest poet, Ms. Na Chanu ma'am. Let me introduce her first. Ms. Na Chanu is a bilingual poetess, writer, author, humanitarian, translator, and an editor from Assam, India. Writing is not her hobby or passion, but a call of her soul. Since childhood, she has been writing poetry in her mother tongue, Manipuri, and in English. She has published 2 poetry books, A Little Piece of Melancholic Sky, and many book for children named Once Upon a Time has also been published, and 3 international anthologies of poetry and 1 anthology of short stories for children named Songs of the Lilies. As an editor, she has got published. She has participated in many national and international poets meet physically and virtually, including All India Women Writers Meet organized by Sahitya Academy in 2021, International Literature Festival organized by Sahitya Academy Ministry of Culture in 2022. Her poems have been translated into 11 international languages till now and have been published in journals, anthologies, and magazines worldwide. So I would like to invite ma'am to read her poems here. Ms. Na ma'am.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes.
Hello. Yeah. First of all, a very good evening to all, and I would like to thank Shalini ji and the entire team of iSPELL for inviting and organizing such a precious event for poetry related to our Independence Day. So happy Independence Day to all the poets and writers here. And my poem, is it okay if I recite 2 poems?
Yes,
my first poem is dedicated to all the unsung heroes of our nation. And just a minute. And the title of the poem is this is I pay my tribute. My words will never be enough, neither ours, to praise the martyrs who fought without fear and sacrificed their lives for the people whom they call theirs and the future of this beloved land, with a bright dream in their eyes that could not be dimmed by anything they have suffered for the freedom of this land we call dearly our homeland. I do not mean only those names history has ever recorded with pride and as legendary stories, but all those souls who have fought for this freedom more or less than others, the freedom we are working toward today, and all those names who have not been remembered or mentioned ever in any text or in any works of literature. My words today are more about them, and I pay my tribute to all those noble souls today with my tears and my gentle words. That's the end of my first poem. And my second poem is not directly related to Independence Day, but it's related to the India, I'm dreaming since we got independence, after independence. It's about the racism. And so the title of the poetry is, Maybe it is easier to take side. Maybe it is easier to take side and love one side and count the injustice and wrong, than blame the other till we start hating them or hating ourselves for more than one or many reasons. But the harder thing is to see the both sides and not to cry or count the pains they have inflicted to one another, the loss they had caused to one another, and watch them shedding their innocence like the autumn leaves, and spring is only a mere dream. Maybe it is easier to take side and love one side and hate the others, but the harder thing is to see, feel, and hear the stories from both sides, and not to cry or mourn, for knowing that they are only pawns, for witnessing that the queens and the kings are in the hands of someone else's incapability, often confused as power or fake for fake peace. Maybe it is easier to take side and love one side and hate the others, but it is harder to watch them falling in the abyss of hatred that have their own reasons and evidences. It is even harder to feel the pains left with scars on them, caused sometimes by words and sometimes by weapons. Those are neither interested to listen to the wailing of widow, nor to hear the cries of orphans. It is even harder to watch so many lullabies becoming sterile day by day in the barren arms of mothers, and replacing dreams by fear in the eyes of children. It is easy to hate the words, either between countries or between races or between religions or between human hearts. But the hardest thing is to attain peace in one's heart, the peace that doesn't demand its price or price. Maybe it is easier to take side and love one side and hate the others. And it is even harder to know that and not able to make them understand that there is no other here. Thank you.
Excellent, ma'am. Vishna ma'am, this is what actual real freedom or real independence is, and I don't know when we are going to achieve it, removing these all ill practices from our society. So hopefully we would be gradually we are moving ahead in that direction. So now I would like to invite our next guest. Welcome. Next guest poet Dr. Feroz Khan. डॉक्टर फिरोज सर पेशे से एक अनुभवी एंकर, प्रोड्यूसर और एक शिक्षाविद हैं। फिरोज खान सर वर्तमान में जन टीवी मीडिया हाउस जयपुर में एक उप प्रबंधक डेप्यूटी मैनेजर के रूप में काम कर रहे हैं। विशेष रूप से अनेक सांस्कृतिक और सामाजिक कार्यक्रमों के निर्माण के साथ साथ समग्र उत्पादन और आईटी विभागों का प्रबंधन करते हैं। जन टीवी पर एक एंकर प्रोड्यूसर के रूप में वह चैनल के लिए सामाजिक और सांस्कृतिक कार्यक्रमों का निर्माण और निर्देशन करते हैं। जुनून से एक गायक और कवि हैं। फिरोज सर ने सिस्टम टेस्ट विश्लेषक के रूप में लगभग 10 वर्षों तक आईटी उद्योग में ओएसआई और ऑरेंज बिजनेस सर्विसेज जैसी आईटी फर्म्स के लिए काम किया है। इसके साथ ही फिरोज खान सर पीएचडी के साथ एक एकेडमिक पेशेवर भी हैं। पत्रकारिता और जन संचार माध्यमों में आगे बढ़ते हुए अपने पिता श्री इकराम राजस्थानी जी, जो कि स्वयं एक राष्ट्रीय और अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर के प्रशंसित कवि और साहित्यिक व्यक्तित्व रह चुके हैं, द्वारा सौंपी गई अपनी समृद्ध सांस्कृतिक विरासत को सफलतापूर्वक आगे लाने का कार्य कर रहे हैं। इस प्रकार एक बहुआयामी और सांस्कृतिक रूप से जुड़े व्यक्तित्व वाले डॉक्टर फिरोज खान इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया के माध्यम से अपनी इस यात्रा को अनवरत रूप से गति दे रहे हैं। सर, आज प्लीज हमें आप अपनी कविताएं सुनने का एक मौका दीजिए। नाउ द स्टेज इज ऑल योर्स। फिरोज सर, प्लीज अनम्यूट करें। जी।
सभी पार्टिसिपेंट्स को और चार्ली मैडम को, iSPELL की पूरी टीम को मेरी तरफ से बहुत शुभकामनाएं। Am I audible to all?
Yes sir, audible.
सबसे पहले तो मैं करना चाहूंगा, I would like to give thanks to iSPELL team, whole team और डॉक्टर शालिनी यादव मैडम को, जिन्होंने एक ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म, एक ऐसा मंच तैयार किया है, जिस प्लेटफॉर्म के माध्यम से, जिस मंच के माध्यम से काव्य धारा प्रवाहित होती है और उस काव्य धारा प्रवाहित होने के साथ साथ संस्कृति प्रवाहित होती है, हमारे संस्कार प्रवाहित होते हैं। इस मंच के जरिए हम कविताओं के माध्यम से समाज में कुछ अपना पार्ट निभा सकते हैं। क्योंकि मुझे कवि नीरज की दो पंक्तियां याद आती है कि आत्मा के सौंदर्य का शब्द रूप है काव्य, आत्मा के सौंदर्य का शब्द रूप है काव्य, और मानव होना भाग्य है, कवि होना सौभाग्य। तो ये आज हमारा सौभाग्य है कि हम अपने भावनाओं को, अपने एहसासों को, अपने जज्बातों को, अपने विचारों को एक शब्दों का जामा पहनाकर लोगों के सामने प्रस्तुत करने की कोशिश करते हैं। तो मैं बहुत शुक्रगुजार हूँ चार्ली मैडम का, पूरी iSPELL टीम का। और ये जो काव्य धारा है, ये जो साहित्य का मंच है, इस साहित्य के मंच के जरिए हम लोगों से जुड़ पाते हैं, अपने विचारों से अवगत करा पाते हैं। और साहित्य कितना महत्वपूर्ण है, भाषा चाहे कोई भी हो, चाहे हिंदी हो, चाहे अंग्रेजी हो, चाहे उर्दू हो, चाहे संस्कृत हो, भाषा से ज्यादा महत्वपूर्ण है उस साहित्य के जरिए अपने विचारों का आदान प्रदान। क्योंकि कहा जाता है अंधकार है वहां जहां आदित्य नहीं है, अंधकार है वहां जहां आदित्य नहीं है, और प्राणहीन है देश जहां साहित्य नहीं। तो साहित्य का होना बहुत जरूरी है। साहित्य के जरिए हम अपने माजी को देखते हैं, साहित्य के जरिए हम अपना मुस्तकबिल तलाशते हैं। तो आज की ये जो धारा है, काव्य धारा, और भी महत्वपूर्ण इसलिए हो जाती है क्योंकि आज हम अपने 75वें सालगिरह आजादी के उसमें प्रवेश कर रहे हैं, और आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव में हम अपनी आहुति दे रहे हैं अपनी कविताओं के जरिए। तो मेरी जो पहली कविता है, जिसका शीर्षक है एक सवाल। शहीदों ने लाखों बलिदान दी, कुर्बानी दी, तब हमें आजादी मिली है। आज भी हमारे सैनिक शहीद हो रहे हैं और हमारे देश की एकता, अखंडता को संगठित करने के लिए, उसे बचाने के लिए प्रयासरत है। तो मेरी जो पहली कविता है उसकी हम बात कहें, जो सवाल है, एक शहीद जब लिपटा अपने तिरंगे में घर आता है, उसकी जब शव उसके घर पहुंचता है, तो एक माँ, बेटी, बहन और उसके भाई, उसकी पत्नी पर क्या गुजरती है, वो भाव अगर मन में रखेंगे तो हम इस कविता से ज्यादा जुड़ पाएंगे कि एक शहीद घर पे आया है तिरंगे में लिपटे हुए। वहां से मेरी कविता शुरू होती है, जिसका उन्वान है, जिसका शीर्षक है एक सवाल। माँ की उजड़ी कोख पूछती, माँ की उजड़ी कोख पूछती, कुल का दीपक कहाँ गया। माँ की उजड़ी कोख पूछती, कुल का दीपक कहाँ गया, और जहां चहकती किलकारी थी, जहां चहकती किलकारी थी, वो सुख का आंगन कहाँ गया। माँ की उजड़ी कोख पूछती, कुल का दीपक कहाँ गया। देखिए पिता के भाव क्या है अपने बेटे को देखकर। बहनों की बात हम पहले करेंगे क्योंकि आज रक्षाबंधन 2 दिन पहले ही गया है। बहनों के मन में क्या भाव है अपने भाई को देखकर। वो जिसके होने भर से बहनों को कोई भय ना था। एक भाई के होने से सिर्फ एक बहन के मन में ख्याल आता है कि मेरा भाई मेरे साथ है। गुनाह कर ही नहीं सकता जहन कोई, गुनाह कर ही नहीं सकता जहन कोई, अगर ख्यालों में जिंदा रहे बहन कोई। उस भाई बहन के रिश्ते के नाम मेरा ये दूसरी पंक्ति है। वो जिसके होने भर से बहनों को कोई भय ना था, वो रक्षा, वो भाई सच्चा, चक्र सुरक्षा कहाँ गया, और जहां चहकती किलकारी थी, सुख का आंगन कहाँ गया। जिसको होते देख बड़ा बापू की हिम्मत बढ़ती थी, एक बेटे को बड़ा होते देख उसके वालिद की, उसके पिता की हिम्मत बढ़ती है कि मेरा साथी तैयार हो रहा है। जिसको होते देख बड़ा बापू की हिम्मत बढ़ती थी, हर बोझा था जिससे बोना, हर बोझा था जिससे बोना, वो साथी कंधा कहाँ गया, और माँ की उजड़ी कोख पूछती, कुल का दीपक कहाँ गया। देखिए पत्नी के मन में क्या भाव है, जब उसका पति उसके साथ नहीं है, आगे की पूरी जिंदगी उसे अकेले बितानी है। देखिए उसके मन में क्या सवाल उठता है। जिसकी खातिर घर छोड़ा, जिसकी खातिर घर छोड़ा, हर रोज सजाए थे सपने, जिसकी खातिर घर छोड़ा, हर रोज सजाए थे सपने, वो सुर्ख रंग काजल बिंदी, वो मेरा सजना कहाँ गया, और माँ की उजड़ी कोख पूछती, कुल का दीपक कहाँ गया। दोस्त क्या सुनते हैं और दोस्त क्या समझते हैं अपने उस दोस्त को देखकर। स्कूल कॉलेज की मस्ती अब आंसू में तब्दील हुई, स्कूल कॉलेज की मस्ती अब आंसू में तब्दील हुई, वो जान लुटाता हंसता गाता, साथी मेरा कहाँ गया, और माँ की उजड़ी कोख पूछती, कुल का दीपक कहाँ गया, और जहां चहकती किलकारी थी, सुख का आंगन कहाँ गया। ये मेरी पहली कविता उन शहीदों को समर्पित है जो अपनी जान लुटा रहे हैं और जो लौट कर घर पे नहीं आ रहे हैं, उनके परिवार वालों की भावनाओं को समर्पित थी मेरी पहली कविता। दूसरी जो मेरी कविता है मैडम, वक्त है मैं अपनी दूसरी कविता पेश कर सकता हूँ?
जी सर जी करिए।
दूसरी जो मेरी कविता है ये गीत है और इसमें मैं भारत देश के बारे में कुछ कहना चाहूंगा और तरन्नुम के जरिए, एक तर्ज के जरिए मैं अपनी भावनाएं आप सबके सम्मुख प्रस्तुत करना चाहूंगा। भारत के हर कण कण में, भारत के हर कण कण में अब हमको अलख जगानी है, भारत के हर कण कण में अब हमको अलख जगानी है, अमन चैन भाईचारे की शम्मा एक जलानी है, भारत के हर कण कण में अब हमको अलख जगानी है, अमन चैन भाईचारे की शम्मा एक जलानी है, आजादी के परवानों का खून रगों में बहता है, आजादी के परवानों का खून रगों में बहता है, भारत माँ की आन की खातिर हमको जान लड़ानी है, अमन चैन भाईचारे की शम्मा एक जलानी है। देखिए हमारे भारत देश की क्या रवायत रही है, सदियों से जो रवायत चली आ रही है, उस रवायत के नाम मेरी अगली पंक्तियां हैं। प्रीत अहिंसा और प्रेम की इसकी रही विरासत है, प्रीत अहिंसा और प्रेम की इसकी रही विरासत है, एक दूजे के खातिर जादे, एक दूजे के खातिर जादे इसकी यही निशानी है, अमन चैन भाईचारे की शम्मा एक जलानी है, खेत यहाँ के जंगल धरती हमको बड़े सुहाते हैं, खेत यहाँ के जंगल धरती हमको बड़े सुहाते हैं, भोर यहाँ की बड़ी सुनहरी, भोर यहाँ की बड़ी सुनहरी कितनी शाम सुहानी है, अमन चैन भाईचारे की शम्मा एक जलानी है, भारत के हर कण कण में, भारत के हर कण कण में अब हमको अलख जगानी है, अमन चैन भाईचारे की शम्मा एक जलानी है, शम्मा एक जलानी है, शम्मा एक जलानी है। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया मैडम।
थैंक्स अ लॉट सर। लग रहा है कि
Beautiful.
मीडिया वाले साथ में है, क्योंकि ऐसे लग रहा है कि जैसे वो एकदम जैसे कोई बॉर्डर टाइप की मूवी हम देख रहे हैं और वो सीन चल रहे हैं, समथिंग लाइक दैट वाज वंडरफुल। नाउ बहुत अच्छा लगा सुनकर, हमें सच में बहुत अच्छा गाया आपने, बहुत अच्छा लिखा भी है, नो डाउट। अभी नेक्स्ट आई वुड लाइक टू इनवाइट डॉक्टर जनता रामनाथन मैम. Dr. Janatha Ramanathan ma'am is a poet, critic, and a translator, a short story writer, a columnist, and an assistant professor of English, Sri Ayappa College for Women, Tamil Nadu. And she is an erudite scholar and has been teaching for 2 decades. Has been teaching for 2 decades. Dr. Ramanathan has presented papers at various national and international conferences in India and abroad, and has published research articles in prestigious journals and books. She is a course writer of IGNOU Delhi. She has completed a UGC minor project on South African literature, and is presently serving as a member editorial board of Panorama Literaria, the research scholar, IFR Journal of Literature, Librarianship, Taiwan, and review editor of New Directions in the Humanities Journal, USA. She is also the founder, chief editor of the Daffodils and International Journal of Literature, Language, and Criticism, and 6 edited anthologies she has on her credit on new literature, tribal literature, human rights, and poetry collections. Also, she has many. Her poems have been published in various anthologies in abroad and India. Her first collection of poems is A Bundle of Joy. She received the Best Researcher Award from the University of Malaya, Malaysia, and she also received one Best Editor Award from ESN Publishers and the Most Influential Women 2021 from Writers Capital International, Athens, Greece. So I would like to invite Dr. Janatha ma'am, Dr. Ramanathan ma'am for reciting her poems here.
Good evening, everyone. It's my proud privilege to be in the galaxy of such an eminent poets from the world. And I should thank iSPELL President Ghanshyam and also my dear poet friend Shalini for inviting me and giving this wonderful opportunity. And I could see many of my friends here. It's happy, and also the warmth and the positive energy I get from them is immense. Thank you, dear friends, and happy Independence Day to everyone in advance. And I shall read one of my poems that is on Bharati, because I am from Tamil Nadu. I have written a poem on Bharati, who has taken his pen as that is weapon for getting independence and inspiring the people around the world. Bharati, a worshipper of Bharat, admirer of motherland, kindled passion and patriotism. You fought with your pen to liberate your brethren, devotional and mystical with outpouring lyrics. Your songs of freedom was the hymn of life. Your fiery songs kindled the fire of patriotism and sprinkled the mandrik effect. Your cry, victory to Bharat, reverberated the hills and dales, homes and streets. You instilled hope and confidence to harry carefully with passion, to elevate humanity with humanism. An epitome of courage and concern, you could invigorate each nerve with the spirit of indomitable valor and will. Living in the hearts, Bharati, you rejuvenated the flow of unending fervor and turned the dream, freedom, the talk of the town, to reality. And my second poem, can I read it? The Jewels of Bharat. The unsung fallen heroes, you are simply divine. an incarnation of God. You connect us to our motherland with an aura of purity, selfless love, and dedication. I'm passionately in love with my country. I revere you, for you have woven the threads of liberty and security, fought against the atrocities induced on men with immortal courage to defend the detractors. A tribute to your sacrifices, courage, and pain for shouldering us and our motherland, enduring the national upsurge, and shielding our dignity and peace with unflinching devotion to the country. Marvelous, benign, and beautiful souls, the pillars who held my nation with pride, guarded our motherland diligently. With a smile in the face and pride in the hearts, you created a heaven on earth. Thank you.
Wonderful poems, ma'am. Thanks a lot for being with us today. Now, without much delay, I would like to invite our next guest poet, Upma Parekh. Dr. Upma Parekh is presently working as a director of Let's Speak English, LSC Spoken English Institute at Ajmer, Rajasthan. She has 9 years of teaching experience at college level. She is a situational poet and has published many of her poems at online literary forums. She has also presented and published research papers on national and international platforms. Writing abstract and acoustic poems is her forte. I would like to invite Upma now to read her poems.
Okay, thank you so much, Shalini ma'am. Am I audible?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shalini ma'am, for this opportunity to be a part of these cluster of poets here. And without taking much time, I would like to go with my first poem. If we have time, I would like to go for 2. So I start with my first poem.
Yeah, sure, you can.
And my first poem is an epistle from a soldier to our dear citizens. We normally talk about the nation. We normally talk about the soldier, the here now at the stage where we see many conflicts which are going inside the country, and somewhere it is difficult to deal with them. So here a soldier is putting forth his own views, and he is initially trying to the citizens of India I'm talking about to address them. Let me see that. The title of my poem is Epistle of a Soldier to His Countrymen. Don't shed tears if I raise as a martyr. Don't block roads with candlelight march. Let not chaos ensue in the name of burning nation. Let not be in the name of burning nation. Am I audible?
Yeah, now you are audible. In between, it was cut.
Okay, I'll start it again. I'll quickly finish it off. Don't shed tears if I raise as a martyr. Don't block roads with candlelight march. Let not chaos ensue in the name of burning nation. Let not this be definition of a patriot. But give me your hand, my brother, and I will usher you to have perseverance in the face of obstacles. Let not parochial approach seize your thought. Let not noisome become your wimpy taste. Oh, my dear countrymen, bow before a billowing flag will not make you satiate. A little diligence for your country surely put you in patriotic frame. Let compassion and courage be your heritage. Open all the progressive gates. Put yourself out. Be a clutch player. Raise your head. Hold it high. Take your country to soaring sky. Safeguard the women. Protect the child. Make knowledge your powerful weapon. Let's together make it a watershed moment. I stand on the border. Inside you, guard the nation. That's my first poem. And my second poem, since we are celebrating Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav, and a real passion lies in our mother tongue, I would like to go with one Hindi poem of mine.
No issue.
आजाद तुम भी नहीं, आजाद हम भी नहीं, गर आजाद हम हमारे इस भ्रम से नहीं कि देश चलाता नेता है और घाटी पर मरता देश का कोई बेटा है। इन दोनों के बीच में है वो जाने क्यों, इन दोनों के बीच में वो है जो तुम जब कुछ हिंसा होगी, शायद तब हिंसा होगी, की गलियां तंग होगी, बाहर का दुश्मन तो संभल जाएगा, बाहर का दुश्मन तो संभल जाएगा, पर घर को जाती बात निकल जाएगा। जो हम आज नहीं जागे, जो हम आज नहीं जागे, तो किस आजादी का परचम लहराएगा। नहीं, आजाद हम नहीं।
Voice is breaking.
I think she has left, sir.
She got disconnected.
Yes, yes.
So you can call the next one, and
Okay.
in between we will have her.
I would like to introduce Bachewal Srinivas sir here. Bachewal Srinivas sir is a school
She is
assistant.
back, I think.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, Upma. Yeah, you got disconnected. Your voice is not coming. It's breaking.
Now is it okay?
Yes, it's better now.
Yes, ma'am. Shall I read my Hindi one again, or was it done? Like,
Yes, continue.
shall I?
Yes, yes, sure.
Okay. I'm reading it again. आजाद तुम भी नहीं, आजाद हम भी नहीं, गर आजाद हम हमारे इस भ्रम से नहीं कि देश चलाता नेता है और घाटी पर मरता देश का कोई बेटा है। इन दोनों के बीच में है वो, इन दोनों के बीच में है वो जो जाने क्यों चुपचाप सा बैठा है, जो जाने चुपचाप सा क्यों बैठा है, मुंह बधिर सा देखता, मुंह बधिर सा देखता, जाने क्यों चुपचाप को बैठा है। गर जो तुम थोड़ा उठ जाओ, जागो और जग को जगा जाओ, शायद तब हिंसा कम होगी, झगड़े की गलियां तंग होगी, बाहर का दुश्मन तो संभल जाएगा, बाहर का दुश्मन तो संभल जाएगा, पर घर को जातिवाद निगल जाएगा। जो हम आज नहीं जागे, जो हम आज नहीं जागे, तो किस आजादी का परचम लहराएगा। आजाद तुम भी नहीं, आजाद हम भी नहीं, पर आजाद हम हमारे भ्रम से नहीं। थैंक यू मैम।
Welcome, Upma. Wonderful. Both of the poems were wonderful.
Thank you, ma'am.
Pramod sir,
Yes,
Bachewal Srinivas sir is there. I think he has left. I'm not able to find him.
He is there.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me introduce Srinivas sir. Bachewal Srinivas sir is a school assistant teacher of English at Jilla Parishad High School, Bejora, Nizamabad, Telangana. His hobbies are reading nature around rather than reading more books. Besides listening to and singing meaningful melodies, his unique quality is composing quotes, acoustic poems in tri-languages. He is an MA English and a Giriraj Mal awardee. His ambition is to become a renowned author of immortal verses and articles. Sir has also presented his poems earlier also on the platform of iSPELL in November. So again, second time sir is coming here. So now the stage is all yours, sir. Please read your poems.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much for giving me the wonderful opportunity. First of all, I wish all the fellow poets Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav ke zariye we have come across here. So it is a wonderful platform. So without wasting any time, I'm going with my first poem. So its title being Indian Freedom and Patriotism. I'm audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah. Fighters were they, fought for our freedom. Martyrs were they, laid their life for freedom. Some were extremists who held their swords. Some were moderators who held their swords. It began with the revolt of 1857 and ended with the hoist of 1947. Innumerable people were suffering undergone for the rise of the Indian tricolor dawn. They arrived here on business, a pretext, reigned us for about 2 centuries next, considered as mere useless slave, treated as if they were inhuman knave, followed the policy divide and rule. They tried to make our kings fool. A few of them were trapped in the net, being traitors of the country for bet. They imposed cess on us unnecessarily, exported to Britain valuables wantonly, tortured us sheer brutally and relentlessly, forgetting themselves as mankind really. Netaji, the leader of Indian National Army, demanded blood for the freedom firmly, formed Azad Hind Force in Singapore to fight the British to answer the policies of the British. So I want to read one more poem if the time permits. And I want to tell a poem on tricolor. It is a Sanskrit one. Trivarna Shobhitam Bhavyam Neela Chakra Sumadhyamam Dvajam Bharata Rashtriyam Pranatosmi Sadamuda. It is composed by one of my Telugu fellow poet. It is a description of Indian tricolor. And if you permit me to read my simple acrostic I have just composed on freedom. Shall I continue, ma'am? Only 1 minute I will take.
Yes, sir, continue.
So, freedom and acrostics. Freedom is the incredible phenomenon, reigning as ourselves not by none, eliminating the evil of society, elevating it with the poetry. Democratic, invaluable ideas flourish, oriental ornaments to relish, meeting the challenges of the contemporary world. Thank you, Anna. Over to you,
Welcome,
madam.
sir. You write so well, sir, always whenever you share your poetry with me. Now, without much delay, some of the guest poets want to leave, so I would like to invite the chairperson of the day, Professor G.A. Ghanshyam, sir. Sir is the founder and general secretary of the society, and sir is professor of English in Chhattisgarh. So I would like to invite sir to say a few words, giving his concluding remarks and honor the poets with certificates. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Shalini. Hope I am audible and visible both.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, wishing you all the happy pre-Independence Day and Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav that we are celebrating the 75th Indian independence. And it's indeed a great pleasure to have all of you on the platform of iSPELL, not only supporting the call of iSPELL, but at the same time, you all have shown the creative talent which you all have. And basically, all the creative talents, they need the platform. And the poetry is a kind of a spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. So all the powerful feelings have not only come out, but they have touched the hearts and souls and minds of the people, those who have witnessed this kind of a poetry session on the platform of iSPELL today. I was listening to all the poets, those who have recited their poems in Hindi and in English. And always I feel we all, being the creative artists, we write according to the call of the soul, according to the call of the heart. And the language, that doesn't matter. And when you all were reciting your poems, I'm also some way or the other tempted to write few lines. And I have written these lines in Hindi. And the title is Azad Hu. आजाद हूं, आजादी का पर्व मना रहा हूं, विचारों को उन्मुक्त करने की राह देख रहा हूं, किसी से प्रभावित, किसी के अभाव में प्रस्फुटित अपने भाव को शब्दों में पिरोने का समय खोज रहा हूं। मैं आजाद हूं पर चक्रव्यूह में फंसा, निकलने की जद्दोजहद में कसौटी पर कसा, अपने भीतर ही कई फसादों में जकड़ा, पर सशक्त इरादों पर हमेशा रहा अड़ा। मैं आजाद हूं तिरंगे की आन बान शान की तरह, आजाद हूं ख्यालों की आजादी चाहिए, सोचने समझने जानने और लिखने की आजादी चाहिए। आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव में आज मुझे निश्चल और निर्भीक वह अमृत चाहिए, निश्चल व निर्भीक वह अमृत चाहिए। Though we are independent, we are not dependent, but as far as our thoughts are concerned, somewhere or the other, we are being deviated, we are being succumbed to various thoughts of ours. Let all those thoughts make us to elevate ourselves, lead us towards salvation. And the real salvation is when you are not in the hands of any of the ideas, any of the thoughts, and your thoughts will be your own thoughts, your own creativity will be there. And that's the India what Rabindranath Tagore has thought about in where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. So with all these words, I appreciate each one of you for taking out your time and writing the poems. And indeed, when you write with the help of the ink, that's why we call it think. And if you take out th out of think, what remains is ink. So that's why we need to think to make the ink flow. And that's what you people are doing. And iSPELL is really happy to have you on the platform of iSPELL to recite these poems in front of our audience. And may I request Mr. Pramod Dhengle to just showcase the certificates. And as I told earlier, iSPELL is always happy to host the creative artists to create a kind of a spellbound atmosphere on the platform of iSPELL. And on this eve of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, let our thoughts be Azad. And this first certificate on the eve of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav goes to Prasanna Kumar for making us Prasanna, means for making us happy on this occasion. So Prasanna Kumar sir, this certificate is a token of gratitude from iSPELL to you. Kindly accept it. The next certificate goes to Anita Gallow, the younger sister of the event coordinator of today, Dr. Shalini Yadav. So this certificate is again a token of gratitude and affection from iSPELL to Miss Anita Gallow. This certificate goes to Sai Prakash sir, and I hope he is having fever, and even in the fever also he has brought fever in the minds and hearts of the people towards the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. So let the temperature of patriotism goes high and high in the air in all the Indians. So sir, this certificate is a token of gratitude to you on behalf of iSPELL. This certificate goes to Nasreen Hamza Ali, though the situation were not well at the home, but at the same time, you have taken out time and you have rendered your wonderful poems on the platform of iSPELL. So again, this is a token of gratitude from iSPELL. This certificate goes to Dr. Satish Srivastava, who is a creative writer, and he has taken out time, and even after 30 years he has got independence to write poems. So that independence is still there in his hearts and minds. So this certificate is a token of gratitude again from iSPELL to him. This certificate goes to Pankhudi Sinha, who was, I think, who is the first poet who recited her poem. So please accept it as a token of gratitude and love from iSPELL.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Misna Chanu, this certificate goes to Misna Chanu, and we always remember whenever we come across the name of Chanu, Mirabai Chanu. So again, this is another name which represents India maybe in the future years to come as far as the literary world is concerned. So this certificate is a gratitude from iSPELL.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Firoz Khan, who has elevated the atmosphere with his 2 poems, and he has written wonderful poems, and he said Watan. So I remember Watan se hi yah tan hai. When we say Watan, तो ये तन जो हमारा है वो वतन से ही है, और वतन नहीं है तो तन का कोई अस्तित्व नहीं है. So Dr. Firoz Khan for doing the honors on the platform of iSPELL. This certificate is a token of gratitude from iSPELL. Dr. Molly Joseph for reciting spirited and energetic poems with your melodious voice. So this certificate goes to you, ma'am.
iSPELL. Thank you.
So Dr. Janata Ramanathan, a good friend of mine from Tamil Nadu, this certificate is again a gratitude of affection and love from iSPELL to Janata, and Janata means people and independence is of the people. So this certificate goes to you, ma'am. This certificate goes to Upma Parikh for reciting 2 of her poems, one in Hindi and one in English on the platform of iSPELL. So kindly accept this certificate, ma'am. So Bacheval Srinivasji from Andhra Pradesh, this certificate is a token of gratitude to you for your wonderful poems. Keep on writing, keep on coming on the platform of iSPELL. So this is another token of gratitude to you, sir. And next Sunday, we have authors panel discussion, and 4 of our authors will be there for the panel discussion: Yasmin Seth, Meghna Pant, Milan Ohra, and Shalini Malik. And this program is going to be coordinated by Dr. Shalini Yadav. Do attend the programs of iSPELL, and every Sunday we bring different kinds of program. We bring the programs to ring the bells of happiness on Sunday evening. So do join us on the platform of iSPELL. I now hand over the stage to Dr. Shalini Yadav.
Thanks a lot, sir. Now, as we are going to end this program, I wholeheartedly thank all the skilled and respected poets who took out some time to be here with us. They took out time from their busy schedule to grace the occasion and for reciting their wonderful poetries, filling everyone's heart with love for country and a desire to serve the nation with more strong willpower. I further express my profound gratitude towards Professor G.A. Ghanshyam sir, founder and General Secretary of iSPELL India, and President Ma'am Professor Anupma Vora for showing their affection and trust, giving me this opportunity. Even though it is in disguise, it was a responsibility to coordinate Sunday Sahityik Satsang of this very special month, as we have completed 100 shows on Sundays and the whole country is celebrating Independence Day too. I thank all other executive members of iSPELL for showing their faith and generosity and to be part of the events. I express thankfulness towards the august gathering of all forum leaders, forum members, iSPELLians, and literature lovers to be a part of this event today. Without thanking Pramod sir, it can't be ended. So I thank you, sir, for handling all the technicalities, being behind the curtain, being the unsung hero of iSPELL India to make it a gala success. I request all to be present for the next
Dr.
show.
Shalini, ask him to switch on his video.
Yes, sir.
So that the invisible can be visible.
Yes. Pramod sir, please switch on your video.
Next time, please.
There is no next time. This is the time.
No. Please.
Time and tides waits for none.
Thank you, Shalini ma'am. Thank you, sir. Please go ahead.
So I would like to thank everybody again, and please join us in the next event next Sunday.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you all. Keep safe, keep healthy. Thank you very much.